there is no one-size-fits-all blueprint. Every company, every organization has to decide in terms of its strategy, its culture, and its operations, how it will adapt to a digital world. The thing is, though, it turns out hybrid working, exactly the same problem has crept up. There is no blueprint. There is no set way of saying if you do A, you are going to get to B. Instead, what we have is a situation where you have to change a hybrid work model to fit to what you are trying to accomplish.
Hybrid model is really a definition that's going to determine a lot about the company, right? It's going to determine a lot about the policy you have. More importantly, it's about the well-being of the individuals, right, in the organization. Is there an ideal fixed way to say hybrid model equals this? I think no. I think we've got to be open to ourselves about being open to discussion, open to feedback from employees, rework it and readjust that hybrid kind of model of what that exists for a company.
The employers seem to know who are the workers and who are the guys that are taking chances.
We're not actually facing issues of productivity and so forth. It's actually the other way around, where people are getting burnt out and all that. And it creates another dimension for intensified wellness programs. We come from different backgrounds. We cannot ignore such things, where you also have to be working around your kids and all that. And then how do you cope around that?
And they have to kind of reconfigure their lives. So people had a different life before the pandemic. They then had to adjust during the pandemic. They've now built that life around that, and we're now asking that adjustment.
Yes, we are social beings, and it's important to have that face-to-face interaction. But being part of a global company as well, right? Not just being part of South Africa, is we have matrix where we have different reporting structures, and that's often based overseas. So even prior to COVID pandemic and digital and being only online on Zoom and Teams, there was a large part of our role is always communicating with people out of South Africa.
Is there an opportunity to change the way we do business at the moment? In South Africa, we know we've got a massive skill shortage. We know that we have problem retaining people. What are we going to be doing to ensure that those aspects are addressed?
We've kind of forgotten that we've always said the point of digitization is to empower the people. And I think that reality has now been put right in front of us, and it is unfortunately one we can choose to ignore at our own peril. So I think it is important we put out there. We have a number of great points that have been brought up by our guests there. Thank you very much. Let me take the time so that we can deep dive a bit more into those.
What COVID has done is forced us to start thinking about certain issues and prospects that we were meant to be thinking about. If you look at 2023, 70% of our workforce is going to be millennials. You need to start thinking about your talent base as well in terms of Gen Z and in terms of what they require within the workspace. Even when it comes to talent acquisition, not just in terms of recruitment, just looking at the skill set that we need, looking at the new industrial revolution that we're facing in digital, everything is digital, everything is about digitalization. We really need to ask ourselves before we even go into a recruitment phase is, what is the skill set that we need and how are we going to find it? And if we can't find it, how are we going to develop it?
I know we cannot obviously replace a human being in that level of interaction, but I still maintain that you mentioned earlier on the fact that we are here, it's because of the digital environment that we're working within.
Even people returning to work, we still have, Teams meetings. Although you're sitting in the same building, it's so much faster and quicker to have a quick discussion. Is it a small meeting, quickly discuss something? Is it a massive meeting? Is it a workshop? Is it a brainstorming? Again, it comes back to that mind shift in terms of how do you facilitate it.
A lot of organizations need to look at, are these still fit for purpose, right? Are they still fit for the level of where we are in the environment? Because the environment's labored a lot more requirements on IT to be able to perform.
I think it's important that the employers don't try and change too much on the employees' front. Respect what they're doing, respect the fact that, it's been a big psychological change for everybody, not only for the employers, for the employees and for customers as well.
Don't assume this is going to happen organically, and do not assume we're going back to where we used to be. As has also been pointed out, not only are we not going to do that, that's just a bad idea. That's completely missing the point.